Haiti. Port-au-Prince, the capital and the main foreign trade port Haiti. As of 2009, the population of the city made 897,859 people, together with a residential suburb minus 2,296,386 people. By definition of Institute of Statistics and Informatics of Haiti, ISI. The residential suburb of Port-au-Prince includes the following areas: Belmes, Site-Soleil, Tabari, Carrefour and Pétionville. In 1706, in the bay in the west of the island of Haiti, there arrived a leader of the French squadron, the Prince Jip, in honor of which the bay was called Port-au-Prince, Port of the Prince Jip. The bay in which the city is located represents the natural harbor, which was the economic center since a civilization of Arawaks. The modern city conducts the beginning from the Europeans who arrived here. In 1706, in the Bay of the Gulf Gonave, there arrived the French Prince Jip. Prince. The captain called the bay Port-au-Prince, that meant Port of the Prince Jip. It is based by the French in 1748 as port. The local Indian population was ruthlessly exterminated by colonialists, and then here delivered the African slaves for work on gold mines and plantations. Since 1770, the center of the French colony of San Domingo. Since 1791, Port-au-Prince, one of the centers of fight of the Haitians, minds the French colonial oppression. On September 23, 1793, the Commissioner of Colonies Etienne Polverel called the city Port Republic, that inhabitants constantly remembered obligations which were imposed on them by the French Revolution. Later he was renamed into Port-au-Prince by Jacques I, the Emperor of Haiti. As a result of large revolts of blacks, the French troops were expelled from all island of Haiti. Since 1804, the capital of independent Haiti. In July 1915, August 1934, it was occupied by troops of the USA, which in the years of World War II made Rouen military base of Haiti. Then in 1957, F. Duvalier, whose dictatorship continuing till 1986 has an adverse effect on development of economy, came to the power. The 1990th years were for the capital and the country in general crisis, as the intense internal political situation interfered with normal life of Haiti. Now order is kept in the capital by the Civil Police Union Mission. Port-au-Prince strongly suffered from an earthquake on January 12, 2010. Many buildings were damaged or destroyed. By estimates of the government of Haiti, the death toll is 230,000 people. City architecture. Port-au-Prince is constructed in the form of an amphitheater on the bank of one of the most picturesque and comfortable gulfs for navigation. The center of the capital is built up with elegant white buildings. Two areas are especially beautiful: Champ de Mars, Field of Mars. A peculiar combination of the park and area for parades, and Independence Square, well known for the magnificent lawns and beds. On the square there are a palace of the president, luxurious hotels. The park in the downtown is very beautiful. Among city sights, Cathedral Notre Dame. Cultural Port-au-Prince value. Coastal commercial areas are located a wall in the territory of near port, and residential areas and areas of slums are stretched by a half ring on slopes of hills. The Olofsen Hotel, which is located in the colonial mansion of the 19th century, Cathedral of Port-au-Prince. 1884. and Cathedral de Saint Trinit, which frescoes are executed by very famous artists of the country, mansions Gingerbread and Delphi, and also Heroes Square of Independence, on which there are monuments to founders of the country, a Fort Saint-Jacques, statue of the unknown slave. National Palace of the 19th century, which was restored in 1918, and the Field of Mars surrounding him, La Ferry Citadel, and also National Library and building of National Archive are the main attractions of the city. Here are the National Museum with an extensive historical collection, the Museum of a National Pantheon to which it is also worth paying attention, and, of course, the Museum of Haitian Art of College Street Pierre, in whom it is possible to admire works of the best artists of the country. In the neighborhood of the city, the National Park La Cigudal is located. Marche du Fer, the iron market, is the busiest district of the city, weapon and iron of the 17th, 19th centuries, and also a good selection of products from tin in the African style is on sale here. At first can seem that in this market the absolute disorder which is created by a large number of cabins, cellars and heaps of fruit, baskets is created, eye-washed, religious totems and toys, but after small acquaintance with features of local trade it becomes clear that here it is possible to buy any goods quite simply and absolutely cheap. The capital of Haiti is also education center of the country, in which all higher educational institutions are concentrated. It is a number of private colleges and the State University Haiti. In 1944 to Port-au-Prince, the art center in which the talented Haitians improved the art was founded. After World War II were also created professional theatre where plays were put in language the Creole, men's chorus and a number of the dancing ensembles which gained the international recognition. In the capital there is a National Library Haiti. To the southeast, Port-au-Prince among hills, the suburb Pétionville is located. He is much more known than the capital. In this luxurious area it is quite quiet, it very much differs from the capital city. There is everything to please local elite which could avoid poverty, general for this country. This place, quite cool, blown by sea winds, is perfectly adapted for quiet rest. Numerous local art galleries sell fine models of Haitian art, and restaurants of French cuisine are considered as the best in the country. Till 1983, tourism to Port-au-Prince was an important article of the city budget. Foreigners were attracted by ceremonies of the voodoo and also an opportunity to get the original souvenirs produced by handicraftsmen. Wattle products from a rod and an engraving on a tree. But in connection with spread of AIDS, the flow of tourists to the Haitian capital sharply decreased. Port-au-Prince is on the bank of the Gulf Gonave, in the west of the island of Haiti. Climate of the area tropical Passatney. Within a year temperature slightly fluctuates, ranging from +25 up to +28 C. Rainy seasons too. From April to June and from September to November. Average annual rainfall is about 1500. Vegetation in the neighborhood of the city tropical, however thickets of the cactuses and euphorbias steady against a drought quite often meet. The fauna is very poor because of almost full destruction of many types. In the city of Port-au-Prince 897,859 people. 2009. Live in agglomeration -2,296,386 people. 2009. In the ethnic relation, the population of the capital is almost uniform. 90% are made by blacks, 9% mulattoes. Also, there is an insignificant number, about 5,000 people, of inhabitants of the European origin. State languages too. French and Haitian Creole, created on the basis of French with loans from the Spanish and English languages. Catholicism is considered official religion, however in practice residents of the capital profess a syncretic Afro-Christian cult of the voodoo which is legalized by the Constitution of 1987. In the last decades of the 20th century, the number of adherents of Protestantism as preachers from the USA developed rough activity began to grow, having founded own radio station. Sites: the National Palace, Haiti. The residence of the President, Cathedral of Port-au-Prince. National Museum Haiti. Monument to the Unknown Slave. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.